changing your life one story at a time. This is the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast with Editor-in-Chief Amy Newmark.
Hey, it's Amy Newmark with your daily dose of Chicken Soup for the Soul inspiration. It's Motivational Monday, and today we're going to talk about a strategy that works for overcoming shyness. Whether you're shy a lot of the time or just once in a while, I think this story will have an impact on you. It's from our book, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Reboot Your Life, and it's called The Life of the Party. In this story, Julietta Nardone tells us that she was painfully shy, always the wallflower at social and business events. She would panic just thinking about saying something like, "Hello, what do you do?" to a stranger. Her shyness didn't just make her feel isolated. It actually caused people to think that she was conceited and aloof, even cold. But she wasn't. She wanted to be friendly. But ever since she had been bullied in school as a kid, she had been afraid to put herself out there. Julietta even took a class called How to Make Small Talk. And she learned how to make small talk, and she practiced talking to her reflection in the mirror. And then she started her own graphic design company, and now she realized she absolutely had to learn how to talk to people. She couldn't build a business otherwise. So when Julietta was invited to a political fundraiser, she made a resolution. She would practice for real this time, not looking in the mirror, but on real people, people she didn't know. She was just going to force herself to do it. She gave herself a scary assignment. She was going to that political fundraiser, and she was talking to everyone in the room. The day of the party came, and Julietta found herself sitting in the parking lot in her car for 15 minutes, trying to go inside. But then she did it. She walked in, and she went right over to the first stranger that she saw, and she extended her hand, and she faked confidence. Do you remember that podcast from a couple of weeks ago when we talked about that mantra, fake it till you make it, and how that actually works? Well, it did. Julietta faked it. She pretended she was a confident person who could talk to strangers. She acted the part of a non-shy, confident person, and she talked to everyone in that room. And they talked back to her, much to her surprise, and it was great. Julietta says, surprisingly, the more I reached out to converse, the easier it got. I learned to ask questions that engaged the other person's interest or revealed common ground. Before that evening was over, Julietta found herself introducing people to each other. After all, she had made it her goal to talk to everyone in the room and learn about them, so now she was the facilitator who could cause them to meet each other. This shy girl had become a networker, a matchmaker. She says that by the end of the evening, she felt powerful, connected, and free. So that party, when she faked it till she made it, broke the ice for Julietta. She started seeking out opportunities to start conversations, and she realized those opportunities were all around her every day. And the world became a kinder, warmer, and happier place for her as a result. She was still shy, but she kept up the act. She pretended that she was a non-shy person. And eventually, she became a non-shy person for real. And that's what I see all the time in Chicken Soup for the Soul stories. If you act like the person you want to be, you eventually become that person. Julietta says that after 5 years of this faking it, and then becoming truly a non-shy person, she could walk up to anyone at any kind of event and start a conversation. And because she had become such a friendly person, her graphic design business grew, and she had more friends than she ever had imagined. And she knew she had made it when she was at a local networking group and she heard someone introduce her as the woman who everyone knows in town. She had become that fun person who years before she had never had the courage to approach. It sounds like something from a movie, right? Shy girl becomes the life of the party. But I've seen more than one Chicken Soup for the Soul story in which this strategy worked. It's worth thinking about. Act like the person you want to become, because it really does work. Well, that was our tip, and it was a great one. And we're going to have another tip tomorrow, which is officially Tip Tuesday. If you listened to my podcast last Friday, you know we have a new book out that will help you declutter your life. And tomorrow I'll share a couple of stories from that book that will highly motivate you to start getting rid of all that stuff that you've been meaning to give away. I'm Amy Newmark. Thank you for listening to the Chicken Soup for the Soul podcast today. I'd love it if you would help me spread the word, so tell your friends and family. And you can also rate and review the podcast on our iTunes page. And if you'd like to read more life-changing tips from Chicken Soup for the Soul Reboot Your Life, please go to our website, chickensoup.com.